Hi, I'm Joe Keefe, the editor of MarineNews magazine and Maritime Logistics Professional magazine. We're here on Maritime Reporter TV at SMM 2016, and Frank Coles, the CEO of Transas, has been kind enough to come and visit us. Frank needs no introduction, but we welcome him to Maritime TV. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Joe.
And how's the show going for you? Give us a synopsis of what's been happening, and this is the last day of it. But give us your assessments.
I think it's been a fantastic show. You know, given the condition of the market, we weren't quite sure what to expect, but certainly the last 2 or 3 days have been intensely busy on our booth, and talking to the competition and some of the others. They're all pretty excited with the turnout, actually.
Okay, very well. We've had good fit traffic here as well. Let's launch into the questions then. You've recently launched your thesis program at Transas, and only earlier this year. And you say this is it's a statement of how shipping can be more efficient and how you can do things better. But flesh that out for us, all right?
Well, it's fairly simple. First of all, you've got the ship, you've got the office, and then you've got the regulatory authorities around the world, but you don't have them connected. Our desire or our thesis is that they'll be connected. You already see, obviously, with electronics and ECDIS and the Internet of Things on board ships, but what you see now is some of the larger shipping companies are starting to think about these fleet operation centers. And that means different things to different people, but they are considering connecting the ship to the shore in a more efficient, digitized way. Where we go one step further is we start talking about the VTSs that we're building, the vessel traffic systems that we build, and the coastal surveillance. We believe that's going to become a full-blown ship traffic control environment, and that the ship operations center and the ship will be working with them. And then on top of that, of course, we see training will then evolve, because training in the simulators will have to take into account the fleet operations training and the effect of having a ship traffic control environment. Why do I think this will work better? Simply because even today with electronic chart systems, I heard from one of my sales guys today that he's got ship owners rolling out dual ECDISs, but continuing to use paper charts. We need to get them away from paper. We need to put the administrative tasks ashore. And that's what I think is going to happen under thesis.
Okay, fair enough. So you intend to impact all of the stakeholders on the waterfront, but how can you reach them all just from an electronic platform, the things that you do?
Well, we can reach them because we have customers in each area already. We have a large market share in the ECDIS side, so we can reach the ship owners from that perspective. We're already talking to them with some of our software applications on the fleet operations side. And then, of course, on top of that, we have a very large market share in the simulation and training area, so customers listen there. And then in the vessel traffic service area, more and more countries and more services are looking at they're our customers, and we can reach them and portray the idea of more integrated ship traffic control.
So you're already touching all aspects of it anyway, and what you're hoping to do is integrate them a little tighter with your technology, yes?
Exactly. And if I might just add one thing that I think people tend to forget, there's a lot of discussion about autonomous ships or remotely operated ships, something I think we're a long way away from. But the research into this and examining the problems points to one very big problem. United Nations Law of the Sea talks about who controls what inside territorial waters. You already see in any country they want to know what ships are going through their waters. You can be jolly sure that if we ever move towards remotely operated ships, countries are definitely going to want to know what ships are going through their territorial waters. And that, to me, points towards a ship traffic control environment.
Very well. So let's get down to nuts and bolts here. A lot of it's theory so far, but you're rolling it out slowly. But one of the things that you hope thesis will do will improve safety and operations. So The question is how? Give me a couple of garden variety samples.
Well, fundamentally, if you've got more than one party monitoring the movement of the ship, and not just the ship, by definition, you're reducing the risk that it's going to get itself into a tricky navigation situation. I mean, if you've got a ship that's already got an approved passage plan, and then that passage plan is now not only being monitored by the officer on board, but it's also being monitored by the ship operations and also by the traffic control. You know that as long as that ship's in the green, it'll be fine. But if a yellow light goes off in fleet operations, they're going to want to know what's going on. And certainly coastal surveillance is going to want to know what's going on if they see a ship deviating off an approved passage plan. So that's one great example. Another example is that coastal surveillance or ship traffic control is also going to be able to coordinate the efforts in search and rescue a lot more effectively because they'll have the passage plan of all the ships.
Very well. One of the things I saw on the trade show floor was one navigation company, integrated bridge system, had a remote tablet for the master of the vessel if he was walking down two decks during dinner time. These aren't regulatorily approved yet. They don't have type approval, but they're experimenting with it. Is that the kind of thing that you're hoping to do, is having a remote access to different aspects of the ship's navigation in real time?
So we have already a number of customers who are using tablets on board ship as extensions of the navigation systems using one of our products.
Okay.
So that's already something, and we actually have it on the booth as well. So it's here already. I mean, thesis is a thesis, and it's a concept, but it's actually a reality already in certain areas for us. It's just a case of having ship owners embrace it. We're talking to a number of large ship owners who are interested in expanding their fleet operations. Fleet operation centers mean different things to different people, but several of the large container companies already are operating 7x24 fleet operation centers with large banks of screens as they monitor fuel, monitor position. We just believe in taking it one step further so that there's shared navigational decision-making.
Fair enough. So wrapping it all up, we could say that the future is now, really. This isn't pie in the sky, it's happening now, isn't it?
Absolutely. The future is now, and we seek to take it to the next level. And really just, for us, it's not about de-skilling the seafarer. It's actually about improving and empowering the seafarer to show that we believe the role they play in navigation is really important, and we'd like to remove the drudgery, so to speak, and put it ashore.
Fair enough. Listen, we appreciate you coming out here and taking time. I know it's a busy show for you, and thanks for coming by.
Thank you very much.